This is Rolling to Die, episode 118. 118? 118. Hit it, DJ.
It's a scream!
Hello, guys, girls, and
Squirrel?
Bro?
it's your main game master here and DM, Henry Monty, also known as Mayhem the Heart's Mace. For tonight, I will be my level 20 Blood Hunter Barbarian Mayhem, the Werewolf King. All right, and we're going to go down the line. Dark Trooper, perfect time.
I do apologize for my tiredness. I just got back from walking dog.
You're literally on time. Perfectly.
Literally, you came in.
Hello, my name is Dark Trooper. I'm coming from you live from a secret location on my couch. I will be playing Grismont, the Face Splitter. Everybody's favorite orc.
So far, he is actually everybody's favorite orc. Donnie's going to be upset. His orc is not the famous one anymore. And last but not least,
Ladies and gentlemen, and all you Electric Force attendees, performing for you live and also playing as Valnir Nighthammer. Here is DJ Thunderbase.
Thunder! It's a scream!
oh yes. So, on that, I would like for our three characters to roll to die, please. I would like everybody to roll 2d20. Let me know those 2d20 are, and we're going to go from there for how your character is going to have their day.
Is it just us tonight?
It might be some others joining. We're not sure. And if not, me and DJ Thunderbase here already have a
20 and a 6.
And what did you get, Grismont?
A 19 and a 17, 36.
A 19 and a 17?
Yep.
And,
36.
I got a 14 and a 9.
9?
9. So,
How very German of you.
right? That's also a critical role thing.
As time passes by, when they grow older, people may come and go. Emotions
Excuse me.
change, but the feelings we get everlasting. The lights are on.
So, guys, girls, and squirrels, this is Rolling to Die. Last week, we left off at facing off against the Mimic God Dragon. We weren't able to actually officially kill him, per se. More of separate him and scatter him across until he can be put back together. 5 mighty powerful mimics combined make 1, as we noticed. But that does lead off into more things involving the mimics later on for the Doom Crawlers and the Blood Saints, known as the Doom Saints, when they work together.
Celebrate this crazy
As all of you came back and showed back up to your headquarters, your main base, you got a messenger owl. The messenger owl showed up mentioning every single town's name that we left burning or destroyed in the wake during combat of some of these monsters, creatures, mimics, demons, or any other things, or
So let's
dragons.
celebrate this crazy ride.
They never stopped
DJ Thunder.
destroying things, you could say. Not always the best thing for us. So while we were doing that, we were asked in a letter by the towns and the kings, even my own kingdom for Mayhem's kingdom, to have some kind of PvP tournament. While most of us are all in a big bunch getting ready, some of us said we're going to take a different route.
And the fun can now begin.
As Mayhem stands there proudly with Edward Knight, not Edward Knight, sorry, with Valnir Nighthammer, and with Grismont. All 3 of us happen we are in a different area than the rest all leave. With 3 powerhouses that like to fight and get things. They like to do. If they were all together waiting. All right, give me 1 second, please. The thunder hit the base so hard I lost consciousness. Okay, so what is Grismont doing at this time, and what is Valnir doing at this time? As the rest of the squad left early to the PvP in a certain town.
Valnir is still in the training room.
All right.
Good thing. Grismont is trying to figure out a costume for the show. Because he wants to put on a spectacle. Because he wants the Cumberbund.
So, as you have this discussion, mentioning that to yourself in the mirror, getting your gear on, the room down the hall, Valnir is training valiantly with swinging his hammer and trying to make sure he can control his 2 hands. His 2 cursed mage hands. Mayhem walks down the hallway. And as Mayhem walks down the hallway, he stops and looks over with a perception of 16. He sees Grismont looking at himself while the door is cracked. Hey, green buddy, Grismont. What's with the blue?
Blue means it's lucky.
So, you works blue is lucky. Interesting. Let's go grab Valnir. Probably training right now. Sounds like it. Everywhere else is quiet. Lunal said she was taking the rest of the crew to the tournament. I wonder why we were left behind. You want to follow Mayhem, or do you follow at your own pace?
I'll follow you.
All right, so you just head right out with the gear and stuff on that you have that you chose. You can explain what your garments and look like if you want. What you dressed up as for your look for the tournament.
I kind of look like Macho Man Randy Savage with the tassel coat. I'm gonna keep my fancy hat though, because that's too fancy to put down. I got that guy. I
Yes.
took my goggles out from my aviary goggles out, put them on because they look like sunglasses. And of
So
course,
you walk out like this Orc Man Savage. Grismont Savage. There you go. Grismont Savage walking out right behind Mayhem as Mayhem looks over going, well, at least our colors will all be different so people will know the purple to the blue to the red. As you guys head to the training room, you hear Valnir. What are you training and doing at this time?
I am just in there working on the stone mannequin with my hammer, working on my accuracy with throwing it.
All right, so you're standing about, say, 20, 30 feet distance, tossing this hammer at different dummies of different heights to accurately hit.
Yep.
All right. Roll 2 dexterity checks for me for tossing the
All
hammer.
right.
And then after you do that, I want you to roll one last one as an attack.
Okay, a 13 plus 4, so 17, and a 15 plus 4, so 19.
All right, they succeed. You chuck this hammer. Explain to me how you chuck at these 2 mannequins. They're like magical standing there.
So I've got it in my hand, and I'm basically chucking it like a side, like as if I'm throwing a boomerang or a stone.
All right, you're just whipping it across.
Yep.
And like making it look cool instead of like a Thor chucking. You're more of literally just trying to throw this hammer whatever way you can to make sure you can throw it at any accuracy.
Yep, and the roll for the attack was a 15 plus 12, so a 27.
Okay. Explain to me how you destroy the 3rd mannequin.
So I get it back, and I instantly encompass the entire hammer in ice, and then just chuck it. As I encompassed it, it also caused the ice to spike up. So when it went, it just basically obliterated the entire mannequin.
Okay, so as you did this, you see it hit, and as it first hits, the ice shifts from the hammer to the mannequin, consuming the mannequin in a split second as the hammer is flying into it, shattering it. You see the mannequin break as the hammer floats and almost hits Mayhem and Grismont right in the face, just stops right between both of us. We look at the hammer and see it floating and then fly right back at you, and you catch it within 30 feet. And we're just looking at each other and look back. So I'm glad those mannequins are magical, because the first week you were here, I had to keep buying mannequins. I'm glad Luna put a curse on these. As you see the mannequin come back together, and then his eyes glow, and you see weapons protrude out. Yeah, the more you destroy them, the meaner they get. You see the one that I have.
Yeah,
Have you
we
seen
should
this?
probably get out of here because I've been kind of taking them down about 200 times.
As you say that, and we're sitting there, I want you guys to roll a perception check for me to see see if they are looking at us or not. Grismont and Valnir and Mayhem.
do we have
I rolled 2 nat 1s plus 1.
Do we have an advantage?
Yes. But Edward Knight over here, the thing about two nat ones though in rolling to die is it still counts as a critical.
I got a 9. 4 plus 5.
But a critical negatively. So you got a 9, you said?
Yeah.
Grismont doesn't pay attention at all. He just laughs it off, thinking that mannequins can't be cursed and come back to life and attack you one day for the training. Mayhem looks over with a 19 plus 8, the 27 goes. He's, as you're laughing and sees Valnir walking up, he looks over side eye and sees 3 mannequins looking, watching us. And 2 of them are watching Valnir walk up, and the third one is looking right at me and Grismont. And I'm just going, yeah, let's leave for a little while so they can cool down. The curse works that way. It's very interesting. Be nice and they'll be nice. Be mean, they'll be mean. By the way, as you see me walk up to a door that has a slot in it and a big giant chain, I throw a grenade into the little slot, close the door, and hang on to it real close. And you see the door go, and then the door starts getting hit really hard, and I'm going, my training dummy is almost ready. As it starts beating with more arms, going, Valnir, did you throw one of your dummies in here? All right, good answer. We got to go. As we're walking, Valnir, you look at them last second as you're turned behind as all of us leave the room. As you look back to your shoulder and the door is getting ready to close, you see the eyes glowing. You see 3 sets of eyes glowing, staring. And then as you blink for a second, you see them getting closer and closer, and you close the door and you hear the door get hit.
Oh, we might want to go. That is not something we want to mess with. Let's go!
As Mayhem goes, yeah, so I know a fast route. We can go. As he grabs his gem and walks up to the portal, going, she said the name of the portal of the fighting tournament was it Nephilia or Nashilia? I don't remember. It could be Nakraka.
Just go with that first one.
Nashila, all right. As he goes and puts the crystal in, he pulls, as anybody here that is a Bruce Campbell fan, with Army of Darkness, you hear Mayhem going, and the spell starts flickering on all 3 of us. You see it going from purple to green and then flicker into like a black substance.
Hey, are you sure you know what you're doing?
That's all.
Yeah. The name was.
Grismont looks at Mayhem and goes, that's not the words.
Oh well, it's not like we're gonna go to any kind of like tortured place or forest or any kind of fiery stuff.
You
As I say that, the last word.
Oh.
I would like for everybody here to roll a D100 for me, please.
2 D100?
A D100, just one. Oh God, no.
Ah!
No.
100!
28.
I got the opposite. I got a 1.
Oh no, did we swap D100s? I mean, they look similar.
No,
Give
but
me your D100s.
I just got screwed. Like, Mayhem's gonna... Huh. So, it works into the story anyways. Grismont, you and me are arguing as it ruins the whole spell. It's kind of like the concept you were watching the movie of the Spider-Man one with Doctor Strange, and they start arguing and the spell starts taking their words.
No, and we got the thing in between us, just pulling it back from each other. I'll say it. No, you say it. I'll say it. No.
And then The only person that teleports perfectly is Valnir. He's like, so we're going and lands back on his feet perfectly fine. Huh. But 20, 30 feet above him, you and me arguing, yanking a crystal in midair.
I activate my jet boots.
You did. Roll a dexterity save or dexterity check for me with advantage to see if you're fast enough to activate it before you hit the ground.
15. Double 12 plus 3.
Double 12. All right, that's critical. You ignite it right as we're falling. You let me have the crystal. They're like, here, you can have it. Ha ha ha! I see you fall. I see you flying. I'm going, wait, what? Ah! Now,
Wait, does that
here.
mean that they're... Sorry, Mayhem. Looks like you're still the only flightless one.
Yes, I am. Speaking of, right under you, you see a shadow getting bigger. And you look up and you see my big ass. I need you to do a dexterity check or dexterity save for me, please, and see if you can get out of the way in time. You do have advantage because you did roll nat 1 on your or nat 100. I mean, on your teleport.
Mike, with the abilities I have, I also have advantage on it anyways.
Well, there you go. That answers that question.
I rolled 2 13s plus 10, 23.
Nice. So you jump right out of the way, dodging perfectly. As I just cartoon slam right behind you. I'll roll damage in 1 second. I'm grabbing our guys. We land over here. Grismont is flying and laughing at me. Grismont is about here right now. All right, you guys see your characters? And also, I have a freaking laser.
Laser. Now, pop me some popcorn. Kind of
I do
laser.
have popcorn. But so while you are there, Grismont, floating above us, you see a small mushroom cloud of mayhem slamming into the ground. And Valnir chuckling. And you see 2 purple floating hands clapping. Grismont, you've never met Valnir before.
Yikes! A nat 1 and an 8.
So
Have fun, Grismont.
By the way, Grismont, because you're a green orc, you don't see these hands, actually. You hear them. You do not see them because you cannot see purple, as these 2 hands are floating purple.
No, and
they start.
You hear me up there going, oh, yeah. How you like them ground like? Yo, yeah.
The one that rolled in that one randomly got hit by me as I fell and died, and has to be repoofed next turn. But the other one that rolled an 8 is now randomly bugging Grismont. And just randomly, you notice your tassels on your... you notice your tassels moving around roughly, and occasionally your goggles shifting as the hand starts bugging you. Yeah, that came out of nowhere. I was like dying for a second. So, give me 1 second, please. There we go. I sent in the private message. So, back into it. While we're at it, guys, girls, and squirrels. There you go. So, I want all of you to roll a perception check now that we're here and the dust has settled, as you have the three characters that landed.
10 plus 1, 11.
19 plus 5, 24.
11. I got an 8 with mine, so 11 plus 8, 19. So, for Valnir, you're more distracted by watching this hand float around Grismot, but Grismot's not paying it any attention, like he doesn't even see it. He doesn't know it's there. So you're more distracted by that. You do see stuff around you, but not much. But for Grismot and for Mayhem, you guys look over and you see steps of stone. You see grass around you and then a giant wooden structure. You look to your left and you hear water running, such as like a small waterfall flashing down. As you look to the left of that small waterfall, you see an exotic tree, not of normal vicinities, but more of crystal-esque. You look behind us, see stone and rock, high mountains, and trees burrowing away like there used to be something here, but Mother Nature took most of it back over. You even seen a few shrubberies.
A shrubbery?
Shrubbery. And we're accidentally promoting Coca-Cola.
Oh, shit.
So, that was funny. All right. As you look down, well, Grismont, you said yours over at 20, right?
Yeah, it was 24. 19 plus 3.
At 24,
No, 19.
you look down and you see a sign of a certain language. And past it, you see strange structure, a little past the stone bridge. And giant walls that raise up. And you see steam with this giant building, like heat coming out. What do you say or do when you realize all this?
I give my chin a scratch, my head, my noggin a scratch, my chin a stroke. I go, I have no idea what that structure is or what that stupid language is.
Okay. So, you state that Mayhem looks up at you as he gets up off the ground, taking 11 bludgeoning damage, going, that hurt. You guys all can fly, but me.
Yells, rub some dirt on it, you'll be fine.
I'm not naked. He gets up and walks away.
Yes, you are.
Damn God, I can't see what purple is. And he starts laughing. Mayhem walks off. They look over at the sign. Does anybody want to try to read this sign, or does anybody want to check out this waterfall? Or
I'll read it since I've got the helmet of comprehend languages.
Well, that kind of just blows my little trying to see if you guys are intelligent or not. Now here, I got this, guys. Mayhem's like, I'm about to read. Ah, shit, I can't even read that. Yeah, it says this. Ah, damn it. So your character goes and reads it? Valnir reads this language and reads it, noticing 3 times. All 3 times in different languages. One after another after another. saying the same thing. Warning for those who enter. Anyone that goes past this point will be in danger of traps. One language, Draconic. Other language, deep speech. Last language, like the devil speech or the demonic speech. And then it says at the very bottom, in Elvish, Dwarvish, and in Human or Common. Walk in, welcome.
Two of those I naturally speak anyways.
Oh yes, it's just a concept of the trolling of the sign. 3 languages say it's danger, watch out. The other 3 languages are the complete opposite, say come in.
Oh, we should probably be careful. Looks like there's traps ahead.
What does Grismont say to that when he hears that?
What do they say?
You'd better be careful. Looks like there's traps ahead.
I go, oh goody. What I always like to say. I'm really good with traps.
All right.
I grab
You guys want
I
to go
chuck
and
towards the trap. It's like, see? I get the fellas use it.
what'd you throw? The
I
trap?
grab one of you guys and chuck it towards the trap.
All right, so first off, you're going to do a grapple check to see if you can take on another tanky guy because all 3 of us are big. Me and Devontae are both Goliaths. We're not normal Goliaths. We're both were-Goliaths.
Yeah, fine. I was just a joke anyway.
Oh, I know, but hey, if you do it, we roll a grapple check, and then you got to roll a strength check with me. And if you succeed, you could toss one of us. If not, you can throw something else. It's up to you guys. Your imagination builds the story.
Okay, let's try.
I have things set. It only goes so far.
Let's try.
Who are you grabbing?
I think I'll grab Devontae.
All right, so there's Valnir on your left. You just grab him by his scruff. Let's see if what do you roll for? Both you have to roll a strength check for me. With yeah, you're technically catching.
17
I get
plus
advantage?
4.
Yeah, you get advantage. 17 plus 4, so a 21 for you.
Yep.
All right, what did Grismont
A
get?
12. I totally failed.
Damn.
Whoa,
So,
what on earth are you trying to do?
Comic
You know
relief.
what?
He tries to
I
grab
am
you.
going to try and grab you.
all right, grapple back.
A
strength
16
check,
plus
and,
4,
Grismont
dirty
rolls.
20.
All right, Grismont, what'd you roll? Can you counter?
19 plus 4, 23.
You beat him this time. It starts being a struggle cuddle. It becomes a PvP in its own manner where we're player versus everything right now and player versus player. So this is interesting. First, Grismont tries to grab Valnir. Valnir's like, what the hell are you doing? It counters Grismont, shifting Grismont with a wrist lock. Grismont flips the wrist lock around and chains with Valnir, locking up with it, doing wrestling grappling. Shifts right over into a headlock as Grismont gets him into a headlock, countering Valnir. After that, when you go to lift him up, Mayhem walks up behind both of you. 15 plus 5, 30, 20. And grapples under you. Grismont, roll a strength check and see if you can counter my strength that's coming up behind you. You got disadvantage though because I'm behind you and you have no idea.
I rolled a 4 plus 4, 8.
So Mayhem gets irritated seeing you both struggling and wrestling with each other as he looks at both of you instead of just going for normal grapple. He runs and grabs both of your heads for a double bulldog. You know what a bulldog is.
Yep.
You're putting your head down to the ground,
He
right?
runs. I grab both of you by your heads and I run off and jump and slam both your heads to the ground. But right when I slam both your heads to the ground, we go right past the sun. Right after we get past the sign and we think we're about to hit grass or ground. We hit shallow quicksand.
You get quicksand?
You guys are kind of in it face first, but you notice it's only within a certain waist deep. You can still shift it. Mayhem sitting ass first, going, what is this? I need everybody here to do a strength check for me to make sure you can stand up without being stuck. You all have disadvantage, by the way. Even I do.
14 plus 4, 18.
Strength check, was it? $14.
Okay.
I do have a rope, by the way.
That's great. Every one of us did succeed. As every one of us stands up, I had a 13 plus 5 as my disadvantage, so an 18. We're all standing waist deep in this, which usually is chest deep on normal people, but because all of us are above 6 foot for our characters, it's waist deep on us. You said you wanted to use a rope? Grismont, you mentioned you wanted to use a rope?
Yeah, I have a rope since it's quicksand. I can throw the rope at, tie it to something, and tie it to one of my axes and chuck it so that way it can hook onto something. We can pull ourselves out.
Now, with that, roll a perception check to see what you see to know. If not, you have your passive perception.
14 plus 5, 19.
You look around while you're grabbing and tying this knot around your axe, your boomerang axe. You look around and you see the stone structure that's built around, and it's within 15 to 20 feet above us. And it has a ledge, meaning you can hook the axe. Would you like to try?
Yes. It's a 50-foot rope.
All right, I need you to do a acrobatics or athletics to jump this, and then a strength check. You need to be accurate for acrobatics or athletics.
I got a dirty 20, double tens.
Okay. It's a critical. That means double tens. You're able to chuck it in there. Explain to me how you check this. We got to do a strength check though.
I got
for the
9
for perfect
plus,
distance.
I got for the strength check is a 9 plus 4, 13.
Okay, you got over a 10. You needed at least a 10 to get there, a 12 to hook it, but you got over that. You throw it perfectly, and it hooks right between the metal bars that are bracing between the stone. As you do that, you hook it and you brace yourself like, aha! All three of our weight is a pressure plate. All of us sink slightly more by, say, 4 to 5 inches. You hear something ahead of us. And with your perception check that you rolled, you look ahead and see this kind of like a limestone spiked-looking cylinder drop down, spinning with spikes in like a magical aura going around. Mayhem goes.
I go, oh, and no, sees it. He goes, oh, boy, stupid git! Grab the bloody rope.
All right, Valnir, I need you to do a dexterity check. I need to do one as well. Grismont, you as well, and then we need to do a strength check together after. I gotta first see if me and Valnir succeed.
Do I see it
Do you want
for the
roll
dex?
Yeah,
Rolled a
dexterity.
17 plus 1, 18 for my perception.
For the dexterity check,
You
I got
see-
19 plus 3, 22.
Okay.
For the strength check, I got 14 plus 4, 18.
Okay. All right. I got a nat 20 for Mayhem. As Valnir, you look up and see this white, like stone-looking structure of spikes, cylinder-wise, dropping down, spinning rapidly, glowing of a magical aura. After we stepped on some kind of pressure plate that was in the sand, the quicksand, purposely, as it's not meant to drop us under the ground. It's just meant to stick us there long enough.
Okay, so I can see what we're making a dexterity save against.
Yes, and we have to yank on this rope together, and all of us pull
Or
up to get.
is it a save or a check?
It was a check, and then no,
Okay,
sorry.
then I got a nat 20. Oh, a save?
Yeah.
Then I got a nat 20 plus 10.
Okay, that works. And I got a nat 20 as well. So both of us got that. Grismont, he did good too. Now all of us need to do a strength check to pull ourselves up in time to see if this thing doesn't roll over us going.
I got 18, remember? For the strength check.
All right, Grismont succeeds. Valnir, what'd you get?
I got a 13 plus 4, 17.
I got double 19s. I got a critical on top of it. So give me 1 second to show the animation. So all of us down here arguing. We end up over here stuck. Grismont throws a rope right here with his axe to hook. All of us drop for the pressure plate. This thing comes down, spinning rapidly and starts rolling at us. We all get out of time, and it just smashes right through, right as we just get up here in time. Nice.
All of us collapse on the ground, right? It's like, oh, so that was
Those who got
close.
nat 20s, and, the ones that got nat 20s, which is Mayhem and or got crits and whatnot too. Oh, and Valnir, they both land perfectly. Grismont, you land right on your back, going oh, and you just have your axe there, and you look over your side as you see us standing, and we're all looking over the bridge. You see this white stone-looking spiked cylinder runs right through the sand like it's nothing, and hits that sign, and just stops. And grinds, and then pulls back, grinds again, pulls back, grinds again, and then rolls back slowly and locks back in place. And then you see the sign flip back up, and you see the sand stuff start filling back up and looking like a normal ground again as the trap resets. And we witness this standing here as Grismont's laying there and starting to get back up, watching it too. Now that trap, I'm not joking, would have damn near killed us or messed us up severely. I set that thing purposely and I rolled my special death die.
Good thing that we all rolled well.
Yes, I lucked out on that one. This is rolling to die. So, now that we're all here up here, what does everybody want to do? Do you want to do another perception check? Now you're at a higher point. And now that you're at a higher point, there is an advantage.
18 plus 1, 19.
19. What about you, Grismont?
13 plus 5, 18.
Okay. And we may have 17 plus 8. Okay, 25. All of us look around. We see the higher of where there was buildings where we were standing at one point, and everything had nice structures. It looks like the front area of this has not been really maintained or done anything within a long time. You do look over where the waterfall was. There's a woman standing there in the water, watching us, and walks back in the water, slowly backing up and disappearing into the water. As we look around to our left and to our right, we see paths of steps that head downward past the wall to where the doors may lead inside. One door says a direction of one way, the other one says another room for a different way. Your choice between us three. Now, do we want to split the party or do we want to stay as a group? That is up to you guys.
I'd say stay as a group this time.
I'm fine with staying as a group.
Mayhem looks over and agrees. I think staying as a group is a smart idea when we have a small party. So,
No healer.
the question is, oh yeah, by the way, yeah, no healers. The only person that knows any kind of magic technically would be Valnir. And none of his stuff is probably set for healing. I know animal friendship, speak with animals, and fear. I can make people scared of me. That's
all my stuff is damage
Besides-
stuff. I don't even have any health stuff. I'm a sorcerer, not a healer.
The only health stuff I have is that affects me only.
Well, the thing is, what I would suggest for you sometime, Valnir, if you still do know basic healing abilities, being a sorcerer, you can always give yourself healing hands just to heal yourself and heal others when you need to, as just a cantrip. As just one of them later on. Not saying right now unless you want to, but that can be a very useful thing for you in the future. Because also, good thing while you're beating someone's ass. Wham, wham, heal. Wham, wham, heal. Why do you keep touching and slapping your thigh? I heal myself every time I hit myself. What? Whack.
I don't have it.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't have any healing stuff.
There has to be one. If you're a sorcerer, you know at least one. There's one at least basic level 1 healing spell. I know it's in there. You just have to look, but that takes time. We don't have to right now if you don't want to.
Yeah.
But while you're figuring that out, all of us are sitting there. With the advantage of the perception we all saw, we do see some other adventurers. You see an elven folk man, a human man, and a dwarven woman, all arguing and talking, coming past the trees of the tree line and stones.
A
Talking
pointier
about
git, a short git, and a humi.
now they're walking up and they see the sign and they go, "Oh, hey, we can go this way. This would be great. Oh, look, it's so pretty right now. When did it get clean?" And they see us three. Are you guys, the cleaners? Thank you. This place has been dirty for a while, ever since, the certain people locked themselves in the castle. And then that's the human phrase. He's saying things, but he's looking over, going, "You guys got any money?" The elven boy. What? Wait a minute, you got a bloody orc on your guy's side. Goliath's are one thing. You guys are imbeciles, but you're are you that stupid? You'd have an orc on your side. You two dumb Goliaths. Like seriously.
Hey, I'd be watching who you call dumb.
I get up real close to that elf and go, "Who are you calling a dumb, you pointy-head git?"
All right, well, mind you, we're about 5, 10, 20, 25 to 30 feet yelling at each other from across as they're standing, say, at the very edge of the sign before the trap. They're being rude and disrespectful. Even the dwarven girl going, yeah, even I wouldn't do that. And I got the weirdest friends. I even have some Goliaths, and I know this smarter than that. All orcs are evil. Kill it. And
I need them both to make a deck save because this is a cantrip and it reaches them.
yeah, Mayhem puts his hand on your chest, Valmir. And he gives you a look. Let him cook. And what is this thing you're gonna do to him?
Acid splash. I can do it up to 60 feet away.
He's gonna start a fight. What I was suggesting is just let them walk in, because for them the sign says one thing because they're elf, human, and dwarf. But for us, we know what it really says. But also, you're enticing them for yeah.
But
They could come up to us as well. Still sets the trap.
Exactly, it'll force them to come in.
Okay, so here's what they rolled. The dwarven girl, a 2 + 4. The elvish man, a 4 + 4, 8. And the human teenager, a 5 + 4. All failures.
You are all taking 18 points of acid damage.
Explain to me how it looks as you drop acid on these guys.
So I basically just hold my I basically just hold my hands up and I'm like,
I'd be careful who you be calling idiot.
We got the high ground.
Mayhem says, idiots can't cast spells. And they go, I can cast spells. And then right when they say that, they look up.
So can I.
And that's when the acid splash hits. The one person that's trying to react, let's see if she can react. And nope. Sorry, the elf. The elf boy, he tries to react fast enough for a counter spell, but it was too slow. They all get hit and scream in pain. Oh, you're gonna regret that? Yeah, you are. I'm gonna fry his balls with my hammer. As you see her hammer
Hey,
ignite
I got a hammer
flames.
as well.
All right, so you see these 3 people get ready for battle. So she pulls out her hammer and ignites some flames. Her shield lights up with the sun. You see the elf pull out a staff and a dagger. And you see a staff glow and his dagger glow of a greenish aura. You see the human male pull out a sword, like a 2-handed claymore. That's a little too big for him, as you notice he's trying to swing it. And they look back going, should we charge them? Or should we attack from a distance? And you hear the dwarven girl going, I want to hit them now. I'm going. I don't care. Come with me. And the sorcerer himself goes, I'll stab that sorcerer myself. As they all run right past the sign. You guys want to say anything as they run past the sign, or you just want to watch?
I'm gonna just watch.
I just start chuckling.
You start chuckling, and Mayhem goes, can you guys read that sign? Yeah, it says that it's all welcome only, yeah. And some other gibberish at top, but we don't know that. And they all get stuck. The dwarven girl is up to her neck. Very bad for her. Right at her chin. You see the elven boy up to it, past his hips, up to his chest. And same thing with the human boy up to his chest. Now, the pressure plate hasn't activated yet. Do you guys want to help out with that in some kind of formality?
Make a con save.
For who? All of them?
Uh-huh.
What are you doing with this one?
This is shatter.
Oh. Nat 1.
Oh!
Explain to me how Shatter looks and what it does to them as it comes down crashing on top of them.
So it's basically a loud ringing noise that comes down with the force of thunder.
That works perfect. So, horrible noise comes in their ears at first. They're trying to reach to their ears, and this thunderous clash hits. Shifts just enough weight to hit the pressure plate. You, Grismot, and me, we all hear the track.
Doing 29 points of thunder damage to them.
They're not dead, but they're hurt, about halfway apiece. And they go, when we get out of here, we're going to kill you. Yeah, we're going to. And then you hear one of them with their perception. Yeah, only one of them out of the 3 see. Oh, what is that? Oh God, I can't move my arms fast enough. I can't. No. And it just starts dropping. And Mayhem goes, you could have joined us. Been nice. Because you guys are assholes. Dicey dice. By the way.
No crunchity crunch crunch.
Right? And Mayhem goes, hail to the king, baby. And it just rolls over them and they start screaming and you see blood. And that whole white cylinder turns red.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that was entertaining.
Then Grisma goes, oh, yeah. You just got crushed. Oh, Macho Man's way.
As you say that, you see that cylinder stop. You see the sand covered in blood and whatever else that it grinded it into. Their magical weapons and aura and essence somehow even shattered or destroyed themselves, as this cylinder was meant to dispel and destroy anything that it hits. Even magical items would be destroyed by this. You see blood start soaked up fast by the sand at first, and then you see it get soaked under the sand. And you all hear a deep voice. More. Give me more blood. More. I'll reward those who give me more blood. You hear chuckling from Mayhem going, blood for blood god, blood for blood god, blood for blood god, blood for blood god. As everything starts shaking around all of us.
Like it's doing right now.
And Mayhem looks over going, oops, I mean, blood for blood. Mayhem is chaotic. So, I follow rules, but I go to the painful extreme. So, what do you guys say when you all hear this? Did anybody say a reaction except for Mayhem chanting blood for the blood god?
I go, you ain't getting none of mine.
Mayhem looks over you and goes, I think it usually wants us to make more blood.
I'm cool with that.
Oh, blood. That should be easy.
Okay, I like that. I like making bloody things.
All right, so now we got to figure it out, guys. Left or right? Right leads us to one path to a narrow passage down steps, and left does the same. But you notice there's different illuminations It's much brighter on the left side, much darker on the right side. Which do you guys choose for team? Or do you guys want to roll to die?
Roll.
All right, everybody roll 2d20, and by the numbers will be the determination of left or right.
A 10 and a 9.
What are we rolling?
2d20.
Roll to die.
2d20 are. Yeah, roll to die.
Four, 6, 10.
Okay. I rolled a 12 and an 8. We're technically tied. I need everybody to roll 1d100. Just once. I got a 66. Oh, wow.
92.
All right, I guess we're going to the right. So, we shift down. All right, Valnier, roll for your hands while we're at it.
Heavy fog and the stage now comes to life as we begin an energetic night. It's time to show what I can
2 11s.
My time is now and I'll never lose. I close my eyes.
Okay, they will listen to you, but they have because it's a critical, because you rolled 2 11s, they will listen to you. Okay. All three of us went to the door. Now, do you guys just want to check the door? Do you want to try to open the door? Do you want to see if it's magical? Do you want to see if it's trapped? You guys just want to walk in? It's up to your guys and your intelligence of your characters as well, remember. Mayhem walks up going, I don't have magical means, so let me know, Valnier. My abilities are different. Like, the one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sense by sniffing and using the werewolf senses to see if I sense or smell anything. 11 plus 8.
I have no way of being able to tell if it's magic or not.
Okay. Charisma, anything you want to do before we decide to open this?
No. Just open it.
All right, so Mayhem reaches for the handle. I have to make a wisdom save. I need a 12. I just barely passed. Mayhem puts his hand right to the handle and senses some energy. He pulls his hand back, and right when he pulls his hand back, he watches the handle turn red hot. And he goes, it looks like there's a trap. He touches the door that's wood, though, and realizes it's normal wood, and it's not active. I only think the metal is magical means, but not the wood. Whoever did this was not smart enough, I guess. I'm going to roll a history check to make sure I know enough. Or Arcana. Here we go, Arcana. Nat 20. Perfect. And my Arcana is, what is it? It's a 2. So a 22. Mayhem knows the magical means and understandings, goes, Charisma. Lift the bottom of the door. I'm going to drop kick that hell out of the thing. Or I'll let you drop kick it. In fact, it'll probably be better if you drop kick it. Your character is technically heavier than my guy. So, and you're above me in the steps, so you have a chance to do a running drop and do extra damage from a drop. My guy's at the door. So do you want to do a running drop kick? Or do you want to do a running smash into the door? So I'm going to lift it up to the hinges so the hinges pop. It's leverage, baby. All right, Grismont, roll either acrobatics or athletics to see if you're going to jump and drop kick it or you're going to run and smash into it.
A melody that strikes deep within the soul until that bass sends us into.
I'm going to shoulder check it.
All right, just going to run in and shoulder smash this thing.
4 plus 10, 12, 14.
14. You run and smash into the door. Did you do it with advantage? All right, now roll with advantage because I'm lifting to help pursue the door. 14 will not get you high.
That's right. 25, 15 plus 10.
There we go. All right, so explain to me how you run right through this door and smash it off the hinges as I leverage the hinges to pop off as you smash into it.
I back up a little bit, a couple of steps to get the running start, then just run toward it and just shoulder check it into the door.
All right, so is it like the cartoon running back? You're like, do-do-do-do, and then you run back a little more, and you run back a little more, and then
Yeah,
you go,
that's fine. Yeah, let's do that.
Oh, that's good. So, as Mayhem tells you this, and he looks back and just sees you running back, and then running with your feet like cartoony, and he goes, oh shit, this might hurt. As I try to shift over to the side and lift up to leverage it. Valnir, are you going to help leverage the bottom of the door, or do you want to try to just hold yourself back so you don't get hit by a group?
I'll help leverage.
All right. So both of us need to roll a strength check as he's smashing through this door. A nat 20, and then the other one's a 19. So
A 19 plus 4, 23.
Grismont, as you smash right through this door, explodes. As we thought it was just going to come off the hinges, no, you literally just made it just shatter all the wood off, and this metal pieces hit everywhere. It's now we have all entered into this room. Door smashes and flies right off the hinges, hitting the ground. We're standing here. Grismont, you're right about here. Edward Knight, your hands just floating around right now, listening to whatever you want to say. And what are you guys going to do?
That bass sends us into overload.
All right, what are you guys doing as you guys enter this room? You gonna roll a perception check for me, or you want to check the place out?
I got
19 plus 1, dirty 20 for perception.
I got 12 plus 5, 17 for perception.
17, okay. Okay, all of you, you look around, you start seeing people, guards, soldiers, all red-skinned and angry, high-ranked hobgoblins.
Well, ickle little Gretchen.
And boy, howdy, are they angry.
Yeah, we just destroyed their door.
Yeah, it scared the hell out of them, too.
Grismont looks at them and like, I picked bigger things out of my teeth than you. Bring it, you little shits. You little suckers.
All right. you go. Creatures, monsters are set. All right, guys. You open the door. You see all these creatures and monsters. Even something coming out of the lava. And a random wall fell. So, break through the door. Orc smashes through and looks around all smiling. And then you guys look up and see several high-ranked hobgoblins. One monk sorceress one standing at this table of onyx with this glowing, shining onyx spiritual object that's glowing an aura of like a purple swirl around it, a little bit of red. You see in the lava and in the molten magma itself, a creature of multiple arms and blades pours and looks out at you all and dips back in. A bunch of these goblins pull out their swords and their weapons. For those who rolled over a 16, look up and see two archers at the bridge above, where the third floor is. And they see a sorcerer where the bridge is. I would like for all of you to roll initiative, please.
8 plus 4, 12.
18 plus 3, 21.
Initiative. Oh, that's just covering it. I got +5 to my initiative. Okay. 12 plus 5, 17. All right, so before we start our initiative, what's the first thing you guys say and do? And I'll allow each one of you to have a reaction, such as like one small attack or cantrip, nothing too big though. What is the first thing all three of you do is like a big surprise?
I click my heels and fly up to that bridge. Up amongst the archers and the mages.
I'm gonna transform.
Into your werepanther?
Yeah.
Perfect. I was going to transform into my werewolf. Grisma, what was the thing you were
going
doing?
to fly up to that bridge and deal with the archers.
That is. Okay. I'll let you fly up there as high as you can. How many feet can you move with your flight?
Let's find out.
How many feet high?
Doesn't say. While you wear these boots, you can cast levitation on yourself. That's all it says.
All right, so it goes by your normal movement. What is your normal movement speed?
Movement. Where's the movement? Where would I find that?
Movement speed should be in Edward.
I'd be under speed.
You can help them real quickly. Thank you.
Yep, speed and defenses is where you'll find it.
I can walk 40 feet.
All right, so you can fly at 40 feet.
How far away?
Unless you're carrying. Okay, so you can fly up. Uh, you can fly up 40 feet, and then you can only move maybe like 5 or 10 feet ahead after that, and that's about it.
Can I do it? Can I get onto the bridge in one go?
You would have to, not right now. This is just one reaction I'm allowing you guys to do, or one attack. Your reaction is starting to fly up and get ready, which you will be the first one to start when it is your turn, which you'll start your movement back over again.
Okay, then that's what I'll do.
So you just wait until that turn part.
No, I'm gonna
All right, Edward Knight.
fly up with that action.
So what are you gonna do? Not Edward Knight. Okay, yeah. So you fly with that action. So it'll give you a little more advantage when it's your turn. Valnir, what are you doing for this?
Okay, so I'm a first. So are we on actual turn now where we can actually attack, or?
Not yet.
Okay,
This is
then,
just
then
one,
I already did mine then. I turned into my were-panther, remember?
No, you're right. I'm wrong. Thank you. And I turned to the werewolf. I'm just looking for your character. When you have so many cases of characters, it gets a little ridiculous. All right. Mayhem looks over, smiles, and transforms into his werewolf, ripping his flesh off and screaming and howling. And then as you transform into your were-panther. Now, we got to do a fear check for them in a second. Just trying to find you, wherever you are. Whatever, I'll substitute you. This will work. So, watch you do this one. I think I found you. Ha, no, that's hilarious. Okay, so we transform. We got to do well, they got to do a fear check, which I got to do in 1 second. Yeah, I do not see your character. I placed him somewhere. I'm just not sure where. Unless I have him in the giant models already. But back to it. All right, I need you to do an intimidation check, Valnir. You have advantage, by the way, because this is a big surprise for them.
$18.
Okay. All right, Mayhem got a 19. Hey, look, there you are. I should have just looked over here the whole time. That fixes everything. 19, but I do have advantage. First one was that one. The first one was that. Yeah, I'll take the other one. 19. So, you transform, I transform. All these guys. 15, 18, 19, 1 success, 8, 11, and 3. 2 succeed, all the rest fail for fear checks, so they're all scared of us except for the monk sorceress, and then the one guy in the back. That's the demon creature that's in the lava right now. All right, so to the top, Grisma, what are you doing? As you're flying in the air now, you have your full speed back. You can move up to 40 feet with your flight, or double your speed, but you only get 1 attack.
I'm gonna fly over to that bridge with all the goblin archers.
Okay. Right as you're flying up, you hear the commander saying, "Kill them!" You fly up this way. Now, do you want to fly and get on the bridge, or you just want to fly around the bridge and attack?
I'm gonna fly onto the bridge and disrupt the archers so they can't hit you guys.
So you're going to get on the bridge. All right, so you fly on the bridge. Need you to do a dexterity check, please, to make sure you land on this bridge safely before they attack you.
Do I have advantage?
Yes, you do, as you surprise them flying up.
22. Next +3.
42. Okay. So you land right there, right next between one archer and another archer. You're right in the middle. What do? You're a Grismont in the middle. Not a monkey in the middle. Grismont in the middle.
I use both of my axes to hit both of those archers as I'm landing.
All right, roll. All right, roll 2 attacks while you're coming down with these 2 axes. Like a flying aerial attack.
One is 14 plus 10, 24. Another 24.
All right, so roll damage for me with your attack and then fire damage.
One's 4 plus 4 is 8. The other one is a 9 and 2d6. Plus the 2d6, plus the 4d6, 5, 4, 1, 5, 3. That's 14.
Okay. So you hurt them and surprise the hell of them, slash right down on them, and they're bleeding and they're looking over, trying to pull their bows back, and they're just in shock. You just jumped up, flew in the air, and just landed over here, kind of like a Hulk, in a matter of like a couple seconds, like maybe about 6 seconds. So this is how it looks when we first enter in. We walk in, smash in. You see Mayhem and Valnir look at each other and transform and go, "Ow!" And then Grismont just jumps in the air like he's like a Hulk jumping, flying up. He lands right on the bridge with both his axes, slashes right down with these 2 guys. All right, Grismont, that's your first attack. With each of those, you still have a bonus action. What would you like to do with that?
Could I throw one of the archers off the edge?
You were going to have to do a strength check first and grapple with him.
Do I have advantage?
And then from there, yes, you are bigger and stronger than him, but you will be risking shot in the back by the other one because of it.
14. 10 plus 4.
All right. He rolls a 7. But his buddy that was shooting you in the back with an arrow right as you walk past his 5-foot range.
I'm going to use my reaction to cast up my magic shield to protect him.
All right. So explain to me what this magic shield looks like. What color it looks like.
Kind of like a spear shield. It's like a translucent blue almost like a translucent icy blue, kind of like your light there.
So for an orc, seeing a random blue shield appear right in front of his face, for him, he believes this is good luck. And do you believe you can make a shield like this in the future? Randomly just appear in front of you, Grismont?
Yes.
All right, you got to roll 2d20 the next time to believe, and you can make a shield randomly appear in front of you to protect you from someone doing a surprise attack.
Do I do it now or next turn?
You could do it now if you like. If not, you can do it next turn.
I'm not going to remember next turn.
All right, do it now. Roll 2 die.
8 plus 6, die. 34.
All right, you believe it so. As the shield, you see it appear in front of you because of Valnir. An arrow hits and stops in its tracks and then hits the floor as the shield dissipates from a blue aura from nothing. And you're going, I can make shields out of nothing. Yeah. So, back to what you were doing with the other guy, Chucky McGee.
I'm going to pick him up by his belt
You
and
wanna-
by the bridge of his belt and the back scuff of his head and just throw him over the edge.
All right, roll a strength check for me to see how hard you throw this guy. As he failed.
I got a 5 6 plus 4, 10.
Six plus 4, 10. All right, the 10 just succeeds the threshold. You pick him up, grab him by his belt, and you chuck him right over. Now I got to see if he can do something about that with his reaction before he falls to his death. A 4 plus 4, 18. So as you chuck him off, and he starts falling and plummeting to right to where the either the solid floor is or the hot magma or molten steel and everything, he pulls out his bow and arrow with the rope attached to it and fires it, hooking to the bridge and swinging under it. Wow, 18 plus 4, 22, and swings up behind, back around, right next to you. But maybe about 5 feet away now, and smiles. You guys are fighting elite goblins. These are hobgoblins. They're a little smarter. Oh, you almost did kill him, depending on his rolls. So, Grisma, that was the last thing you can do. Is what do you say when you see this
I
happen?
go, cheeky gay, aren't you?
As he smiles. All right. Now it is Mayhem's turn. He pulls out his 2 maces. He grabs both and slices them across his biceps, taking 1 damage from one, 5 damage from the other, so 6 damage of bleeding damage to Mayhem in his werewolf form. Turning both of his maces into ice. You see a necrotic, purplish bluish ice, a form at the edge of both of these maces. And he's going to bum rush and attack the first hobgoblin to his right with a sword. 17 plus. 12. Yeah, I hit. 29. So, 19. All right. 31 damage for the first hit. Second hit, 20 damage. And the ice, 1 and 3. Mayhem's bonus action. Well, he already did. This turn's done. Valnir, it is now your turn. You're Werepanther. What do you do? And remember, everybody, to like, share, and subscribe to Rolling the Die.
So, is there anything near me?
About 15 feet away, you have a hobgoblin soldier with a katana. And then about 20 feet away is a creature in the lava. Mayhem just went after the other hobgoblin that is about 35 feet away from him. And Grismot is now bridge, trying to play the hobgoblin.
Okay, so you said there was one in the lava and one where? Where's the
Okay.
one that is 15 feet away? Where's the one that's 15 feet away?
Right here.
Okay, I
So,
need it to make a deck save.
and then there's a lava creature this direction. So you're right here. I just attacked this guy right here.
Okay,
And
I'm going to use my bonus action and one of my 2 actions. Both of those creatures make a deck save.
13 and a 13. And both got
Oh.
13.
So the one that is the closest to me is taking 14 points of acid damage from acid dragon's breath. And then
Okay.
the other one, the one in the lava, is taking 26 points of lightning damage. And then they are both taking an extra 7 points of lightning damage on top of that.
Wow. So you severely hurt both of them. You didn't kill them, but yowzer. The one with did you do any fire to the lava creature?
I did lightning to that one.
Okay, lightning. Yeah. Okay, I was gonna say the fire would just heal him.
Yeah, that's why I did lightning. And my guy doesn't do fire; he does ice mainly. Ice, acid, and lightning is Valnir.
That works because that's more likely that will happen.
And then
So-
for my last attack, the one closest to me, I need to make another dex save.
Another deck save. A 10.
Okay. Then he's taking 14 points of bludgeoning damage from tidal wave.
All right, water does double damage to this creature, and so does ice. That's
Okay,
28.
and the water damage says
With a presence that could block out the sun, an aura that could make anyone run. There's no escape when you
1 point of water damage.
decay for those who resist.
Or wait, no, that's a level 3, not a level 2.
So what is it then?
8 points of water damage. 8 points.
So it's doubled and it's 16.
Yep.
So you do that. You hear it screech. And it tries to jump back into the lava. As you hit it with water, and it screeches more. Okay. And
That's all I can do.
Now it's the hobgoblins' turns. And they are angry. Hobgoblin 1. Missed. 6 plus 5. Hobgoblin 2. A 10 plus 10. That's a hit. What is it? Does a dirty 20 hit you, Valnir?
No.
Come on. 2 plus 10, 12, nothing hits. 18 doesn't hit. All right, Grismont. Let's see with you if you get hit. 18. Does an 18 hit? What is your AC for Grismont?
Oh. It is 18.
All right. He just hits you as an arrow hits your shoulder, giving you 8 damage of piercing damage to you. The second shot misses completely. The other one, he tries to throw you off because you try to do it to him. But he only rolls an 8 for his strength. I need you to roll strength and see if you can outpower him. Roll a strength save for me. I'm sorry, a strength check for me with advantage for Grismont.
17. 13 plus 4.
All right. How do you want to do this to the archer that you try to throw him off first? Now, when he swung back, getting all cocky, he tried to throw you off, and you just spun him back around to throw him back off. How do you want to do this? As he's flying off into the lava.
Can I just kick him in the midriff?
Yeah, it can work that way. Since he tries to grab you and chuck you, you spin him around and Spartan kick him just right in the chest, right off the bridge. And you just see him flying off, trying to grab his bow as he's falling back and realizes his bow is back on the bridge. As you spun him around, it flung off his back. And as he looks back, and all he sees is red and orange, and he goes, no! Right into the lava. He just melts away.
The Grismont goes, ha! Finally got you over me bridge.
One archer down, one to go. Now he's Grismont, I need you to do a wisdom save for me, please.
Do I have advantage?
No, you're being surprised by a sorcerer.
I got a 14.
14? Barely passed. You needed at least a 14. As you hear whispers in your head telling you to jump. Jump. Doom is the man you off. Make yourself feel up. It goes away and you hear and it just run by hearing over and over again. And then the sorcerer shakes his head and looks at you and goes, how do you function?
I'm an orc, as all can get. All right, I know.
He looks at you and goes, I must dissect you to find out how you work.
I'll dissect you first.
He tries to do a fire bolt, but he misses with an 8. But yeah, nothing happens. All right, the monk sorceress. Valnir, I need you to do a wisdom save for me, please.
What do you want me to do?
16 plus 1, 17.
You succeed, and you needed a 16. You hear a voice in your head.
And you decide to take a look
outside. First tells you to kill the werewolf and attack him instead of the hobgoblin. But then you start chuckling in your head, going, "But we fight all the time. I don't care." And then the voice just dissipates. Last thing she does is throws a dagger at Mayhem. She misses completely. 17. Now back to the top. Grismont. You have a archer to your left and a sorcerer to your right. Back now. What do you want?
Can I chuck my axe at at the sorcerer to disrupt it?
Roll an attack for me with your axe.
What's left when you give up
21.
31. Okay. Explain to me how this axe looks as you chuck it at the sorcerer and move and hit his staff, making him drop his staff.
Who is it that you need to me?
Explain how it looks. Or do you want me to do it?
You do it.
All right, so you look over and you've seen the one hobgoblin burning. You chuckle and laugh, and you look over at the other archer stepping back, fiddling with his arrow, scared. And you look over at the sorcerer raising his staff, and you're like, I know which one's dangerous. As you look right over at the archer at first, turn back, the sorcerer smiles, thinking, oh, he's turning his back to me, and you just grab the axe on your other side and shuck it behind you really fast. You see it spinning, spiraling really fast, and he just hooks right into his hand, cutting his hand open, making him drop the staff. How much damage do you do with this flaming axe as it's spinning it ignites with fire?
It does 7 points of damage, 3 plus 4. Plus, it says it's flaming. A 9. 5 plus 4.
You see blood trickling all over the bridge from his hand. Him looking with the big eyes of surprise and fear. No, no. As you see the blood soaking up into the bridge, you see where that lava pit or the other hobgoblin was melting away, disappear into the lava. You hear a voice again before you do anything else. Yes. More blood. I don't care for who. Give me blood.
Jeez, what are we dealing with in Audrey 2?
My sister is nothing to do with this. So, what do you guys say when you hear that, especially Grismont, as you hear this after seeing that? Grismont, what do you say? After hearing it, say it once more blood, and you see the sorcerer freaking out and bleeding onto the bridge, and the bridge is soaking up the blood.
I go, have as much as you want, mate.
I like this one. As you hear, I like this one, Grismont. You gain a demonic bless, you could say. All right, so you gain an extra dice, a plus D4. Every time you roll for an attack or evade anything else right now, you get an extra plus D4 for your dice. So you have a chance of being passed if you need to. But instead of rolling a normal flow of bless, it's going to red, as the blood gods have blessed you. So bleeding damage is double damage, by the way, now. And that goes for everybody. The more you make someone bleed, the more damage it does. So, what's that other attack? You still have one more attack? You still have bonus action.
I'll pull the bonus action. I go after the archer. I go after the sorcerer since it's already bleeding. Am I close enough to the sorcerer to attack it normally?
Yes, you can 5, 10, 15 feet.
Then I charge the sorcerer and attack it without the flaming axe. And let him to bleed.
All right, with the other one?
Yeah.
All right, roll for attack.
15, 5 plus 10.
You sadly miss that swing. Steps back, going, "Oh, bleeding. You must bleed." You still have a bonus action. What would you like to do?
I use the bonus action
You still have one more attack?
to attack again.
All right, roll an attack.
Let's fly away from every indulgent ray.
18 plus 10, 28.
From everything that'll bring us pain. So gather everything
You succeed as
united, push on
you notice
let go is
his AC is only 16. You slash and rip right through him, dropping more blood all over the place with these axes that they bleed and burn. Roll that damage for me, please. And while you do that, it's double for the bleeding for the slashing damage.
2 plus 4, 6.
Slashing
That's
and
12.
piercing. Yeah, slashing and piercing is going to be extra. But that goes for your enemies too. How much damage are you
You
doing?
got 6 with the
Plus the
normal
fire
damage, plus the 12, plus the extra is 12.
Okay. You make him bleed even more all over the place as the blood hits this ivory-looking bridge. It starts soaking it up more as he tries to step back from you, scared, trying to reach for one of his potions. That'll end your turn. Is there anything you want to say before you end your turn?
I also yell, blood for the blood god. But also,
Now remember that one attack you did miss. You technically still have your demonic bless. You can still roll that d4 and see if you succeed. Because technically, all you need is a +1 to succeed for that next hit.
okay, then I'll do that. I'll finish him off. But I also have since I have a mastery of my hand axe, I have Vex. If you hit a creature, which I did, with the hand axe and deal damage to the creature, you have the advantage on your next attack roll against that creature before the end of your next turn.
So reroll an attack with advantage then.
I got 1.
So you did. That's all you needed. You had a 15 with a +1. With a 16. His AC is 16. So, how do you want to do this? Because he only had 2 hit points.
I grab his face with my free hand, pick him up, and just slice his head off with the axe.
As you pick him up, you see his feet squiggling, and he's like, no, not to the god, not to the blood god, no. And you grab and you just, his body hits the ground. And as it hits the ground, you see it not hit like a thud, but right when it hits this ivory ground, it explodes into like a splash of blood and just instantly soaks up. And what's left is the head, as you're holding it. Mind you, the head is still alive 10 to 15 seconds. As he's blinking at you, going, it consumed everything of me. All that's left is my head. Let me die in peace. Please don't put me on this pillow.
I didn't. Oh, and Grisma goes, I don't care. Just chucks it over his shoulder.
Right as you chuck it over your shoulder, you hear him go, no! Slowly spinning and hitting as the countdown of his life is maybe 10 seconds left. Bounces and hits right as it hits the ivory platform of the bridge. It just explodes into water or into blood. And the other hobgoblin freaks, not knowing that cultist symbol he has tattooed on him means he'll sacrifice himself the second he dies instantly to the blood god. They don't get a death save. They just die. And get consumed by him. Enough will get the favor of them, and not enough will bring him to want to eat you. So far, you're gaining his favor. Fact. All right, Griswold, your turn is done. I will move some of the board pieces and other things. Charisma, you landed here. You checked this guy. No, not this guy. You checked this guy off. He fell into the lava and died. You ran over to him. You bitch slapped the hell out of him. Also, you wanted to roll a perception check for me as well. Notice where the sorcerer was at. And then over here. And here. Okay. Charisma, what was that perception check?
Perception check.
Yeah, you're standing right on something.
1 + 5, 6.
Wow, you don't see it at all. You kind of just stand there wondering how the hell this sorcerer popped up here. That was about it. All right, Mayhem's turn. As the werewolf looking around, smiling with his two frozen maces, he looks right over at the hobgoblin and goes, "So it's blood from the blood gods, right? So I'm gonna eat you." All right, 23 and a 28 to hit. Both my maces. 28 and ooh, 30. And my next hit, a nat 20. That's not going to be with a weapon. I'm biting his head off. So, how do you want to do this for me? Is I slash down with a mace under his legs, swooping him midair. The second mace comes down right at his chest, hitting him in the chest, smashing him against the ground. As he bounces back up, I knee him back up and bite right at his head and just rip the head right off as a werewolf. His body hits the ground and just explodes in the blood and gets soaked into the ground. As I spit the head out right into the lava, it just evaporates. And you hear a rumbling of more. All right, he's down. Mayhem is done with his turn. Valnir, Nighthammer, your turn. All right, Valnir. What are you doing as you still have the lava creature and the hobgoblin?
Okay, so I am going to oh, nice. Nat 20 plus 12, 32. I'm chucking my dwarven ricochet skipper hammer at the one in front of me, the 15-foot away one.
All right. The lava creature?
Okay.
Okay.
I thought that one was 20.
He's already messed
I
up.
thought that one was 20 feet away.
No, you're right. The hobgoblin is 15 foot. You're right. All right. So, well, roll the attack for me.
It was a third. It was a nat
Practicing and
20
training with
plus 12, 32.
So, after all the training you've been doing and practicing, you finally have the perfect throw. You grab the hammer, you feel it just right, and you're just like, this is the moment, and you chuck it.
Yep,
Perfect.
10 points of bludgeoning damage plus
That's all right.
4 points of
Everything will be double.
lightning damage and
Okay.
5 points of frost damage.
19. So,
And because it was a nat 20, it skips to the one that was 20 foot away.
So 30.
With another nat 20. Yes.
Okay. How much damage is this one?
This one is going to be 16 points of bludgeoning damage, 11 points of lightning damage, and 10 points of frost damage.
So this is a very interesting thing. You get a double. How do you want to do this? And kind of like a ding ding, like craziest way. How do you want to do this? Was you first hit the goblin?
I'm
and
gonna
then
treat it
just
like I'm skipping a
flies
stone.
So as you chuck it perfectly, you see it flying, and you see it like ignite with lightning. Kind of like instead of seeing a hammer, all you see is a light beam. How hard you threw this thing. As you threw this thing, it just rips right through this hobgoblin. He just explodes in the blood and soaks into the ground by the blood god. Right as it does that, it skips by ricocheting the wall and flying like a meteor right into this creature.
Now,
but instead of fire, it just up.
Now, is there any other creatures nearby?
Let me check.
Because if so, it skips again because it was another nat 20.
Dead. Yep, you got one left, one ahead. That's the sorceress monk.
With a 12 plus 12, a 24 to hit.
You hit. She is, though, going to try to do deflect missile.
Unfortunately, though, this is a massive hammer, not a missile.
No, I know, but it still technically counts as a flying object at her in that sense.
I thought it only.
So,
I thought it only applied to to things that are projectiles, and this does not actually count as a projectile.
It doesn't, but at the same time, when it's flying and being thrown, it counts as a projectile while it's in the air.
Mm.
If you are not holding it, it's a projectile. So it still gets a deflect, but here's the thing. You get a chance to just catch it because she can't do nothing about it, but she still gets the chance of getting hurt from the deflect because she's still taking lightning damage, but it's still going to be striking to her. So you get the roll of the lightning damage, but not the blunt damage.
Well, the frost damage is 8 points.
All right. So
lightning damage is 6 points.
Damage now. Okay.
Because it has a frost
so
ability, and lightning ability comes from my blue dragon ring.
All right, so the frost ability, this is perfect then. It'll count and then allow it to actually hit her then. She goes for a deflect missile, even though it does give her a 21. Right when she goes for a deflect missile, your hammer hits. And instead of her smacking it back, right when the ice hits it, it freezes it to it just enough so when she tries to fling it, it slings her arm, ripping her shoulder out of socket. With all the velocity that you threw. And then right as she throws her arm out of socket, the lightning flies right up her arm up to her neck and just fries her for a split second. And then the hammer rips back from her arm back to you, taking this damage of 14 damage altogether. So she's not dead, but she's surprised and angry. And her right arm is now incapacitated until she decides to do something.
Nice thing is this has a 60-foot length to it. I can chuck this up to 60 feet away from me.
Nice. All right, so that was your first mega attack. That was just.
Yep, and I still have another attack and my bonus action still.
Yep. Yes, you do.
Which
So,
means
what are you
I'm
doing?
chucking it back at her. 19. 19 plus 12.
Okay, you hit. So you hit with 31.
12 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
5 points of lightning damage. And
Okay.
3 points of frost damage. And it flies right back to me with.
She's hurt about halfway, but not.
Oh, nice. 14 plus 10, 24 to catch it. Nice.
Okay. So, you're going to throw it again?
Yep.
Bonus action? All right. Throw it
This
again.
time it's a nat 20.
Oh, damn, man.
I love the skipper hammer. And 17 points of bludgeoning damage. 9 points of lightning damage. And 5 points of frost damage.
All right. She is hurt about halfway now. Angry.
Is there any
Ticked
other
off.
ones nearby?
All right. And cold damage, by the way, is double damage. Yes, there are 2 other ones it can bounce off of. So
Okay.
roll for the first one. See if you
A 17 plus 12.
That's a hit. 29.
Doing 6 points of bludgeoning, 1 point of lightning, and 5 points of frost. And then it comes back to me with an 11 plus 10, 21 to catch it.
Okay. Now, you hurt one. You didn't hurt the other. You damaged the sorcerer's monk. That ends
Yep.
your turn. It is now her turn. As she grabs her shoulder and puts it right back in place and snaps her arm back angrily. Damn. He misses with a 17 and a 16 for her throws, her daggers. But I need you now to do a wisdom save for me, please, with disadvantage.
An 11 plus 1, so 12.
Failure. You needed a 14.
And if I didn't have the disadvantage, the other one would have been a 14 plus 1.
Oh, yeah, they would have got you. You first look at her, and you start seeing everything get blurry. And then you start seeing everything get dark. Even in this bright room and area, then you go blind.
Great, I'm blinded.
So for one turn, you're blinded. Yep, you can roll when it's your turn to see if you're not blinded anymore. Now you have disadvantage on attacks. She is now throwing for her bonus action. One last attack. A 26 to hit. Does that hit?
You said 26? Yeah, that hits.
You feel one dagger hit right into your shoulder. You take 2 points of poison damage and 7 points of piercing damage. All right. Grismont, the sorcerer, you killed him. The archer is now shooting an arrow at you. A 25 to hit. What's your AC? All right, he hits you with the first arrow. You take 13 damage, piercing damage. 16 for a second hit. He misses the second hit.
18.
A chance to be complete.
Okay. And he misses the third shot. His turn is done. The other 2 hobgoblins run towards one.
Maybe I wouldn't end up hating myself for
One
completely
dart.
missing the signs.
Hint,
Hint, now's your moment. Hint, hint, hint. Don't you blow it. Hint,
jumps over the sheet. No, she has to go over. So she goes. He kills him. Turns around. He got shot.
Mr. Oblivious.
All right. Down there. Never mind. You don't get hit. Mayhem doesn't get hit either.
I would have been over
Okay.
instead of so dark and so blue.
It's your turn.
I wouldn't have.
Now it's back to top. Grisma. What are you doing? As the archer just shot an arrow right into the back of your shoulder. You have one in your front and one in your back of your shoulder now. They're touching tips.
Is one in my butt?
No. You have an arrow in your shoulder this way and an arrow in the back way of the shoulder, and they're both touching. They pierce right through your meat.
I slowly turn towards the goblin and say, "That was a mistake."
Want to berserk and rage?
Yes.
All right. As you just hear, wah!
And I imagine that archer is probably pissing himself right now.
Right.
I put my gesture up to grab my axe to fly back to my hand.
What can I do? I still like you as more than friends.
All right.
And then I berserk charge towards the goblin.
Nice. All right. Roll for a reckless attack.
Now's your moment. Hint, hint, hint. Don't you blow it. Hint, hint, hint. Can't you see they like you?
And let's see.
Don't let this fall through.
He sees a big green machine running at him. He's going, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap.
What am I rolling again?
Oblivious.
You're rolling an attack with your weapon. It's a reckless attack, so you get advantage. It's going to be doing a lot more damage, but it makes it so they have advantage on you next turn if they survive.
18 plus 10, 28. The other one, a 27.
Both hit. All right, roll attacks.
A 10 for one.
All right, it becomes doubled because of the slashing
That's
plus the fire.
20. That's 12 plus the 4d6 for the fire damage.
Yep.
11, so that's 22. So 20,
That's the
40,
damage.
53 damage.
So how do you want to do this?
I berserk charge and do an X cut against the goblin.
All right. So you see this orc rage and look over at this hobgoblin, pulling his arrows out, firing them one after another, trying to hit this raging orc running. You see the arrows flying past one after another, and he starts ricocheting them with his axe, smiling. It's getting closer and closer. So you see the red eyes glowing. You see the orc lunge in the air with both his axes as an X and just slashes right through. You even see like an anime moment where you see an orc on one side of the hobgoblin and then a white flash and he's behind him. And then you see the hobgoblin look back, try to reach for an arrow, and his arm falls this way and his other arm falls this way and he just falls into pieces. And right when he falls to pieces, just shatters into blood. And you look back smiling as you see the blood soak into the bridge and you hear, "You are by far my favorite for blood." So, what do you say or do to that, Grismont? And you still have a bonus action.
I go, thanks. I look down at. Is there still combat in the below me?
Yes, you see Mayhem fighting a hobgoblin, and you see Valnir fighting a hobgoblin, and then you see in the middle a sorceress monk, as she is casting spells and throwing daggers from a distance, with a black table in front of her of an onyx uh, object glowing and spiraling on the table.
Can I jump down on top of her?
You can, because you do have those boots of levitation. I'm going to need you to do a dexterity save. I'm sorry, a dexterity check, please. Do a
Do I
dexterity
get
check
advantage?
with advantage. Yes, you do get advantage of running and jumping off, because your levitating boots do help you with making sure you don't oops.
14, 17 plus 3 is 20.
Okay. So, roll for an attack for me now, as you have succeeded jumping over and missing the lava. As the DC for this was 20. If you failed, you would have fell in the lava or hit a solid floor. It would have been funny.
Do I do an unarmed strike?
Are you flying with your axe at her, or hammer, or just your hands, just grappling at
I
it?
think it would be axes first.
How are you doing a drop kick?
And it jumped down on top of her.
All right. So roll with that X slash you do.
One's a 26. The other's a 15.
One hits and one misses. As the first one misses and she steps back, as the other one, you finally correct it and just slash right into her. And she leans back against the table and sees her arm kind of pull against this thing like it's trying to consume her. She pulls her arm back. As you swear, you see it blink like it was an eyeball. As you hear more, give me this one. But that takes your bonus action, so your bonus action's done now. You still have a reaction when it is somebody else's turn, so you can still do something then of a physical attack of some sort or an action of some sort.
Oh right, I
what.
get regenerated.
No.
I forgot to regenerate myself. Yeah, so that was.
Yep, you regenerate yourself all that physical damage. Pretty much regenerate yourself back to max because you had a lot of damage. It was over 50 something, and then 30 something for the other one, and then for her it was like 20 something. So you're back to max. Okay, it is Mayhem's turn. He looks at the hobgoblin and goes, "My maces are faster than your sword. You want to see?" And he swings with lightning speed with a 25 to hit. Second mace, nat 20. Yeah, this is gonna be fun. Okay, first damage, 26 damage. Second damage is doubled. 25, so 50. So how do I want to do this? As a werewolf, I smash down with this frozen mace against his sword and shatter it as he tries to block me, hitting him and collapsing his collarbone and his shoulder, and taking the other mace and trying to meet that mace to that mace through his skull. I smack the head down and uppercut with the other mace, trying to collide them together. And you see his head explode, and as it does, his whole body just turns to blood and soaks down. My bonus action, I'm going to grab my giant boomerang and chuck it at the sorceress monk. 11 plus, what is my boomerang? Plus 12, wow. All right, 11 plus 12, 23. I hit her with this giant boomerang doing how much damage? 9 damage. My turn's done. DJ Thunderbase. Valnir. What are you doing as you have a hobgoblin that's literally 5 feet in front of you?
A 19 plus 12 to hit.
You hit.
11 points of bludgeoning damage. 4 points of lightning damage. And 2 points of frost damage. Backswing.
All right. Oh,
Oh, another 19. 19 plus 12. Another 19 plus 12 to hit.
okay.
Doing 13 more points of bludgeoning damage. 3 more points of lightning damage.
Okay.
And 1 more point of frost damage.
That turns to 2.
And I am going to try and slam her to the ground. So I'm going to roll a strength.
Yeah. This is the hobgoblin with the sword in front of you, not the sorceress. The sorceress is right now.
Do I
fighting
have
Grismont.
do I have advantage or disadvantage for this?
You have advantage against him for this, the guy in front of you.
19 plus 4 for my strength.
All right, so explain to me what you're doing with that.
So after I do 2 big swing, a swing and then a back swing, I grab her and then just slam right down to the ground.
All right, so take out this one hobgoblin in front of you. You mess them up and you kill her. And
Doing 6 points of
damage?
bludgeoning.
Okay.
Plus, plus 2 points of lightning.
Ooh, I was going to tell you only had 1 hit point left, but never mind. How do you want to do this with the hobgoblin that's in front of you?
So when I slam her head into the ground, it just goes to mush.
All right, right when you slam her down and kill this female hobgoblin guard, and she just hits the ground and explodes into the blood and soaks into the cracks of the ground. You hear more. I need a little more. All right, that ends your turn. Is there anything you want to say down there before you end your turn? You still got your hands, by the way. You're
Do I? Let's see. Yeah, no, 2 nat 1s. Yeah, no, I don't.
technically rolling to die. That's a critical, but yes. And you turn then. It's now the sorceress's turn. Grismont. You and her are fighting at the table. A dirty 20. Does a dirty 20 hit you?
Yes, 18. Because it's a
You
8.
did.
I have 8 armor class.
Okay, you get a dagger right up in your jaw from her. Doing 16 points of piercing damage. And now she's going to try to do a grapple and slam you into the table into this black onyx-looking spirally thing that almost sucked her in and ate her. So I need you to do a strength check for me.
It's
All
a
right,
straight
she
roll.
It's an advantage for you because you are stronger than her.
+12 plus 4, 16.
You're so lucky. She got a 15. So instead of her kicking you and flipping you over into this, you managed to wrap and spin her around and now get to throw her into it. So, Grisman, how do you want to do this if you throw her into this skunk? Like, what does it look like? Or do you want me to?
You were saying she was trying to kick me?
She was trying to do like the monkey flip and flip you over her onto the table. So the spiraling onyx thing that was like a swirling, like a giant eyeball creature, was trying to absorb her, and she's trying to throw you into it to have it absorb you instead.
Well, then I grab her, the spinning monkey. I grab her by the leg and her arm and then throw her over my shoulder into the table.
So, as she tries to flip you around, you spin her around, pick her right up, and just whoa! And she's going no, and trying to reach at you. Even with her, even with her monk skill, she gets a 6+5. Nope. Falls right in to this creature. You see, it looks like an eyeball at first, and it blinks and opens up, and it's teeth. You start chomping at her and pulling her in and ripping her apart. And you hear her screaming and gargling and transforming into whatever this is. And it just turns into a pile of blood and slurps her up. You guys have now cleared this room. As you hear the creature go, there are a few more I need. And I will grant you service, protection from the Fire Lord. What do you guys say to that when all three of us hear that?
The Fire Lord? That doesn't sound good.
You know exactly who this is, Edward Knight. Roll a history check, Edward Knight, to remember if this is the correct Fire Lord you remember.
You mean Valnir?
Yeah,
I'm not using Edward.
You still started shit with her with him, too.
Yeah, I know.
It's funny. Chris, both his characters have started a fight with this Fire Lord character on both
A
sides.
10 plus 8, 18.
You remember her very faintly going, didn't we piss her off and released you from hell and beat her ass? As Mayhem goes over going, yeah, that was one hell of a birthday. You guys can check that out on one of our episodes. That was a birthday episode last week. So, Mayhem looks over going, so where do we go? Anybody know? And I'm going to roll a perception check. Everybody else want to roll a perception check for me and see if you guys can see if there is another route?
16 plus 1, 17.
Yes.
Eight plus 5, 13.
18 plus 8. 26. We look around and we see two doors. A big gated locked door. It's magical. As Mayhem looks at it with his arcana. And then, with his perception being over 25, he finds a stone door alongside this wall. Anybody want to help me push this door?
Sure.
I'll help.
Okay, I did that. Okay. I had an 18 for my strength. What's your guys' strength? Or will you roll?
19 plus 4, 23.
17 plus 4, 21.
All of us push on this stone door until it cracks and snaps open. As above us, right when Valnir realizes that we pushed it and broke it, it says pull, not push, in a different language. And he chuckles as we just smash through the door. As we smash through the door, do we want to be silent or violent about it, guys?
Violent.
Okay. We try to be silent, but we decide to be violent as we decide to go. Stealth mission means when they're all dead, it still counts as stealth, right? Yes. Okay. Still counts stealth. We smash through and you see rubble hit the ground. And a few hobgoblins turn back with their commander. And you hear them go, Skivalu. Sorry, it was that's from Conquer's Bed Verde. That's the teddy bears. Love them. They're funny. What do you guys do? And there's 4 of them left. And now we have the blessing. All of us now have the blood god blessing as we all glow. You get a +4 to your rolls now. Guys, you want to keep to your initiative, or do you want to roll a new initiative?
I'm cool with the initiative.
I'd say keep the initiative. It seems to be working pretty well.
We got the surprise, so this means before our initiative, we each get 1 either attack or cantrip or an action of some sort to do. What is that one action you do to prepare before we go right into battle? Give you guys a second if you need it. Mayhem is grabbing both his weapons, and he's going to prepare to charge
I'm
right
going to kneel down to the ground and attempt to freeze the room with frostbite.
Mind you,
How you guys?
the room you walked into is extremely hot, and there is a lava pit right in the center.
Guys, how are you on health?
That's about the only thing I can do, though.
It can work because it'll make a slick area for a short period of time. We're busting through right here as this falls down. Surprise,
But
motherfucker.
anything in the
We
room
actually
needs
bypass-
to make a con save.
All right, give me 1 second because I just realized we jumped into the actual room that we were supposed to, be sneaky in. So the blood god wants us to come in and kill the hobgoblins, and he'll help us with the fire lord. Right when you come in and bust through the door thinking we're fighting hobgoblins, you fire this ice right at the ground. Her dex save is a 20, a dirty 20.
It's not Dex,
The
it's
Fire Lord.
Constitution.
Even better. All right, it's a +5 too. So dirty 20 for that. She looks at you and smiles. Is that Valnia?
Oh no.
Hello, Valnia.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Why are you here? And what the hell is that green fungus doing here? I remember you. You green son of a...
Oh, is it
But
Devontae's
Valnia,
ex-girlfriend again?
Kinda not.
It's more the mistress that's trying to chase Valnia.
I look at her like,
No,
oh, aren't you the one who
he's
kept
not.
being burned by my magic?
She looked at you and goes, yes, that was your punk ass, was it not? And she's angry at you going, I died 1,000 deaths until I finally regenerated properly because of you.
You think you'd be able to get her to do that again?
You know what's the funny thing is? I still got a wish.
Mayhem looks over at you and goes, well, you better get wishing. I'll block her.
You are first to go.
Everybody get ready. Mayhem tries to do his bum rush for his ability to run at her with the ice axe or the ice maces. So I'm going to do a whirlwind hit to see if I can freeze her and slow her down.
15 plus 6,
Valnia,
21 with a ray of frost.
All right.
That's the hit.
Grisma, what do you do? A 16 plus what?
It's a 15 plus 6, 21.
Okay, a 21 does hit. It is her AC. Mayhem hits 2. We both freeze her just in time as she turns back trying to blast at Grisma.
Doing 18
Grisma,
points of frost
what are you doing?
damage.
As she's frozen pointing at you.
I'm going to activate my wish spell and wish for her fire. What was it? Wishing for her fire immunity to go away.
Yeah, her fire retardedness to go away, and it goes away for so long. which is like pretty much 24 hours. And the bad thing is, that 24 hours is hell to her because when she's down there in hell, the 24 hours works up here. 24 hours in hell is like 24 years or more.
That works.
So she gets cooked down in hell the second she gets summoned back. Which the second she dies, that's what happens to her.
Then
So right when you wish the spell, you see her turn back into a human, and the fire goes away. And she's just ice now. And you see her eyes slowly look at Valnir. So Grismont, that's the
Right.
one. You got a bonus action left, Grismont. What are you doing with the bonus action?
now that her fire retardant is gone,
The second this ice breaks, she's going to go right back in flames and just start cooking.
aren't there hobgoblins in there too?
That is actually the doors on the side. So we actually went past and bypassed those by going through a secret door.
Okay, then I think I'll pool my action until she gets available. I don't want to.
All right, because they will be rushing to the door, but they're not there yet. They do hear you guys, but it's not enough. It's like, they're like gated doors. So they can hear you. Chris, might you say you're holding an action, so if you see a hobgoblin, you're going to do something?
Yeah.
Okay. Mayhem smiles and looks over at Valnir and goes, so Valnir, do you want to have the honors or should I? If not,
You know what? This time I'll give it to you.
He smiles, going, you know what? This fish needs to burn. He takes the ice maces and he puts them to his side, grabs out his big axe, which originally looks like a sword. If he pulls it out, it switches into an axe. And it shifts. And he smiles, and grabs the blade, and he just runs it across his chest. 5 damage I take for myself. As my blood hits the floor, and you hear the blood god go, more. More of the royal god. Mayhem goes, I don't know. And then you see the blood on the axe ignite with fire. And the blood that actually is supposed to be sucked in stops being sucked in and ignites on fire. And you hear the blood god go, no more, no more. So I'm going to spin this axe now. So he's frozen, so I get the 14 plus 12 now. Now it's a 26. So I hit her. You see the ice shatter. Right as the ice shatters, you see the axe ignite her body right back up in flames. Taking the slashing damage too, as her blood spills on the ground. As you hear the blood god go, more of her blood. Now she knows what she Wow. Nat 20. Mayhem smiles and goes, my pleasure. Swings the giant slayer axe. 26 damage, mixing it at 52 damage, plus the fire damage on top of that. 2 damage. Goes to 4 damage. And then the giant slayer is a plus 5 because she is of my base instead of a larger. So, bleeds everywhere, but she's not dead yet, but she's close now. And burns from her own fire. My turn's done. Valnir.
First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use shape water to remove all of the ice off of her, so she automatically reignites back in flames.
That's what I already just did to her. I already ignited her. She's already burned.
Oh, I thought.
I ignited my axe with fire and shattered all her ice.
Oh,
and
I
ignited her
thought. I
back on
thought there
fire.
was still ice on her.
Oh no, she's cooking again.
Uh, um, con save then.
Okay. 4 + 4. Sorry, 4 + 5. 9.
Still.
9.
She's taking 13 points of poison damage from my poison spray.
Okay.
Then I need her to make a dex save. 2 of them.
2. Okay. 2 and a 5, both +5. Both failures.
Okay, the first one's going to be 13 points of acid damage, and then 18 more points of acid damage. And that closes my ability.
How do you want to do this? As you finish her off, to send her back to where she belongs.
I at first
Torture.
basically do like that poison mist that you see the Iron Dragon from WWE. I do that to him.
You're like, how's my breath? Ah.
And then as soon as she starts finally being able to see a little bit again, she only to look up to see 2 massive balls of acid just drop on her. And she just melts.
And you see her face scream, and the fire go out, but her skin melt off and turn to bones as it turns to blood all around her, and she's just a skeletal creature screaming with no vocals anymore. As you see the body reignite in flame and get sucked back down into hell, back to her flaming chair, to reignite and burn for 24 human hours, but 24 years in hell. Screeching damn you to Grismont and to Valnir over and over again every time she reappears back in the chair just to die and come back, die and come back, die and come back over and over again until it's gone. As all the rest of the guards in the castle down there all plug their ears for a very long time. Nothing gets done down there because of that. Thank you, Grismont, as you actually saved a bunch of us for at least 24-hour period in the human world, or mortal world, as you say. You guys hear the rattling of the cages of the doors finally open up. 2 guards on each side. The commander and their sorcerer going, "Oh, Philo, no! No, anything but her! What did you do? What do we say and do? Do we want to do diplomacy? Do we want to do a fear? Do we want to make them just bow? Do you want to say something to the blood god and ask him for something?"
I'd say scare him into submission.
Grismont, Valnir, and Mayhem, all of you do an intimidation check with advantage, please.
I got a rolling to die, a nat 20 and a nat 1.
All right.
3, 11 plus 5, 16.
Mayhem, what did you do? A nat 20 and a nat 20. The other version of rolling to die. The critical roll. Not that version, you know. They're a different kind of critical. So, guys, girls, and squirrels, as we look over and they see us take out their Fire Lord, you hear the blood god going, "Your fear eats me." As all of us look over and growl and what do you guys do to do your intimidation? What does it look like for each one of you? Grismont, do yours first. So what would you have to do to explain what is your fear tactic? You yell, scream, something with your weapons. What
I
do you
take
do?
a big, deep breath and yell, "Whoa!" as loud as I can. Both
All
my
right,
axes in
you,
the
you
air.
scream this. So you scream this in the air, raising your flaming axes. They look in fear and piss themselves. Valnir, what do you do for your intimidation?
Valnir basically just snarls as ice spikes start growing all over his body.
Oh, that's cool. You see Mayhem smile with his teeth and in like a werewolf grin. And you see his muscles flex even more. You see, at first he was a big werewolf and got bigger, and he just starts growing in mass. And you see his claws ignite with like a purple necrotic flame, and his teeth start dripping with a flaming like necrotic. And you hear a howl of, as his green eyes glow, smiling. All four of the hobgoblins drop to their knees in fear. And as they do, you see them pulling out their daggers, just like in Japan, seppuku. Two of them gut themselves right in front of us and turn the blood and drop.
Ah,
The other two run and
seppuku.
drop. Yeah, they seppuku. As the other two jump into the fiery pits with the blades stabbing into their throat. You hear finally, and all their blood is mine. They have fulfilled their contracts. They stayed here for too long in this castle for my blood. Thank you, champions. I grant something special to champion blood you three. Charisma, because you got the highest kill count by 2. And Valnir, 2 behind you. Mayhem, 1 behind Valnir. Charisma got first place. As you see a magical belt appear, forming out of blood at first, and turning into a silver with kind of like a half and half face. One half orc, one half bear, and a shine of silver. It looks like an axe, kind of as the plate of the metal, as it hovers in front of you. You want to put this belt on?
Yep.
As you place this belt around your waist, like a wrestling belt in a way, you see the dial on it of the bear and the orc turn. As it shifts, the orc's face turns fully into a bear. As it churns back and forth, as now the blood god granted you the power of transforming into the Iron Werebear. Have them right here if you want to see see that, Chris?
Whoa.
In the camera?
Yeah, I can kind of see it.
How about that? Better?
Not really, but just take a picture of me and send to me.
Okay, if not, I got a better idea anyways. I can always zoom and change cameras from here. Here's me, And I will soon further.
That's weird. Okay, cool.
So this is the Werebear Iron Bear. The giant axe. So once you turn the dial on the belt, you transform into this. And you stay as this form for 1 hour, and then you transform back, unless you want to turn the dial again. Granted by the Blood God. We're gonna leave his full name mysterious until people figure out what his name is. Now you transform into that as Mayhem and Valnir both look at you as Valnir's a black werepanther, and Mayhem is a gray with a little bit of hints of black werewolf. And then they look over at you as this giant, shining, metalish looking bear with red eyes, glowing, standing tall. As Mayhem, even with his form making him bigger and taller, he looks at you and you're even taller than him, and he's going, even with this ability, you're still bigger. What the hell? And now you notice that your axe, your two twin axes, or sorry, you can make a new axe just for this, and you can put it as like a giant Slayer axe or something, and edit it from there. We'll go for that later. You hear the Blood God go, I'm finally released from this cursed castle to go back where I belong, amongst the world. No more cultists for me. As you see the fiery pit of lava start getting dimmer, and that black table spew out like an ooze and turn into like a black cloud of red and black swirls. All the lava and magma in the room turns black ice cold. Once this creature of a black and red swirl form vacates the castle, it gets dim. Only the light of the moon is shining through the windows and the cracks of the roof that now appear that you did not see before. Everything now covered in dust. All those goblins and hobgoblins you've slain, all those skeletons laying on the ground, dead, shattered, or destroyed, and taken away. The lava pits look like they've never been lit, like maybe 50 to 100 years. Castle in ruins. As you walk through, it seems some kind of time ship is fighting. Finally, what do all three of you say as you see this whole change in the whole room area and everything else?
I scratch my head, go, did it just get colder in here?
Mayhem looks over going, yeah, by like 100 degrees.
I don't know what you're talking about. Seems pretty comfy to me.
You always like the cold. As Mayhem chuckles and looks around and sees everything just dead, empty, or how can you say grave robbed at one point. So what do we do now? Looks like there's no one here. What happened to the player versus player? What happened to the tournament?
Hey, don't you have connection with Lunal?
Oh yeah, I was so caught up in battle. He grabs a stone and sees it flashing. At first, it was flashing red though, and he's never seen it flash red with the symbol that was on those occultists. with hobgoblins, and you see it dissipate, like he sealed it so no one could call. Right when it unlocks, it glows green again, bright flashing, and Lunal pops up kind of like a hologram sense. They're like in an anime style, just one giant head screaming, "Where were you? The tournament happened! Where?" And just Mayhem going, I'm sorry." It's like a werewolf tail tucked behind his legs, and going, "I'll find you in a minute." And then you see the portal open up maybe 30 seconds later as we're standing there, as the crystal dims. You see Luna walking out. You see Reuben and everybody else looking out, going, "You guys coming in?" And they go back in the portal. Do you guys follow back in the portal?
Sure.
Mayhem goes, "Yeah, I trust Lunal's portal because every time I take one, I go somewhere else." And you guys walk through the portal together.
She's the boss after all.
Portal closes, right? The portal closes behind us. Where the castle may lay, time shifts again and reverts back to exactly where it was again. Hobgoblins running around, people dying, war happening, and an overtime shift of what happened. And then these three strange warriors showed up out of time. Instead of the three gladiant human, elf, and dwarf that were supposed to be in the history books to help face off against what really happened in the story is they died horribly. And it was a Goliath werewolf, a Goliath Black Panther, and an orc Iron Werebear. As the story changes in the history books, as they slayed all of those evil cultists that destroyed many homes and towns for years, came to an end as the Blood God was released. The castle became cold, and the towns flourished again. We come back to ourselves where we are. Luna looking at us going, "So the tournament was a week ago?" And we're like, "What? We've been looking for you three for like a week. We fought in the tournament. We wonder where you were. We, by the way, Reuben won again. You see him raise another freaking title, but it says split first instead of just first. And you guys cock your heads going, "The hell does that mean?" And you see Monk, the glitched out monk, walk up, holding the other split first, going, "Yeah, caught him off guard, then we killed each other, but we both had the same kills and deaths, so yeah." And Crom looks over, shaking, going, "They beat the living shit out of me, and I was in the corner. It was very horrible. Tando didn't even have a chance. Avner, fireballs the whole damn time. It was funny until I walked up and broke his damn neck. Oh, it was so beautiful. He did not expect it. But then I got beat to death. A horrible." And then Noodle shakes her head going, "I'm just glad that I wasn't in the fight. I'm glad I had to be on the judges. Because I don't burn down the towns like you guys." As Mayhem stretch,
Grismount looks at Will. It's like, "I didn't burn down nothing."
and she looks at your flaming axes, and she goes, right. You just wait. You're part of our team now of Doom Saints. So
Hey, at least I can't burn anything.
Henry, more like the pyromaniac saints.
right, like the pyromaniac crawlers, or Pyromaniacs of Doom. So she looks at Valnir and goes, "You usually are the one that puts out the fire." But they look over going, "We might have another tournament later. Not sure. I'll let you guys know." And she looks back going, "For now, be on call. A lot of activities happening with the undead and the mimics. Other creatures as well. You guys, we're glad you're back." And she walks up to Mayhem and grabs him and gives him a kiss and goes, "You and me. Need to talk. Bedroom." Mayhem goes, wait. I need a shower." She presses then, and they roll in the room and close the door. "What do you guys do?"
I guess I go sit by the fire and go eat something.
Oh,
Wagner just heads back
As
to
you
his
do
room.
that, okay, so Grismont, you sit by the fire eating. A few characters sit next to you. Chrome looks over and goes, "So, by the way, we looked through the book of time. We've seen what you guys did. Thank you. To be honest, in the real story, all three of those people died anyways. And it was mysterious heroes. We weren't sure who. So now we know it's you guys. Thank you. There was one person that was watching from afar. She was, she smiles. My sister, one of my sisters, the water tiefling. She witnessed everything and wrote it in her book because she loves to be a poet. She also thinks you guys are crazy." And she gets up and walks away and goes, "Thank you again." Pando and her walk off and teleport. Abner sitting across from you in a chair, giving you this crazy look, like, "Aww," with rocking in his chair, not realizing he's actually sleeping, snoring, his eyes open. So he sleeps with his eyes open, and just a drink in his hand, just about to tilt and drop it. But his feet are actually in the fire because he's a dragonborn and he loves fire. Valnir, you walk to your room. You open the door. As you go to close the door behind you, familiar face in the shadows, arms crossed, looking down, looks up at you. Edward Knight.
So I hear you had a little interaction with a certain someone I'd like not to name.
Yeah, not really my cup of tea, but she annoys the mess out of me.
Look. I'm only here for one reason and one reason only. Are you in with me, or are you gonna be my enemy?
Wait, what do you mean?
Look, Crom needs our help. I've already got a few of the other members, but I need to know: are you in, or am I gonna have to kill you?
Look, if Chrome needs me, I'll be there.
Good. As he hides back into the shadows.
You disappear back into your training room. As that's going on, Zenta walks past the door, hearing most of it, nodding, walks away, sends a message to Edward Knight. So, I'm in. And then ends message. And Zenta walks back to his sanctuary. Come on. As you're done eating and everything, what do you do for your character? You ended by going back to your place, to your room, or your character,
Yeah,
or do you go to a training?
I'm gonna go after all the bloodlust and all. I gotta go be by myself for a little while.
All right. You go back into your room. The door closes behind you. As you sit in front of the fire of your room, memories of the past look like they awaken in the fire. Orcs running past, getting blasted and firing back, and your memories of going through a portal. You look back as you see the fire seem like it's telling a future now of you 30 years ahead and what you left behind in that forest underground, growing in fungi. You see a princess turning into a queen of an avatar. You see an army of a purple queen trying to face off against a queen of avatar. You see Avatar Queen enraged, almost succeed killing the purple queen and her army. As they hold back, the last thing they hear is a large wave of whoa! As through the trees, thousands and thousands of shorter orcs, not full size as you,
Youngsters,
about half your size.
youngsters.
They're still young, but there's many running through, aiding the Purple Queen, rushing the Avatar Queen as she's went mad. with
Brandishing
power.
crudely made weapons and improvised weapons.
And whatever they could find. Even one still holds a sword in his hand, but there's still a skeleton hand attached to it as he's just running with it. I found a good sword! And the hand's just still flailing behind. So, when that all happens, you see this all and you chuckle. Behind you, through the shadows, two figures appear. One of Edward Knight and one of Crom Tombfall. As they appear through, at first, Edward Knight all cool and dark and shadowy. You see Crom Tombfall kind of trip and, oh, damn it, I was trying to look all cool and stuff like Edward over here, but no, I tripped.
You either have it or you don't.
Ah, yes, yes. At least I got under the sleep little bit. As you pitch back to Crom's room, Pando's upside down on this crazy naughty wheel, tied up with a gag ball in his mouth, spinning with these two purple hands that are Valnir's, randomly spinning him over and over again on the damn wheel. As he's going. Okay, so Grismont, you see Edward Knight, you see Crom Tombfall look at you. And then you hear them talk for a second go. So, I don't know if you understand, but something is going to be happening one day. We may need your help. And also, there's something we have to fight. Your specialty can carry too. These mimics are terrified of what the hell you are. And your weapons. The queen of these mimics is not what you think. Not of a woman like me. Not of a bossy. Well, as she's talking to you, as you're orc looking at her, all you see is gold armor, pink like skin of the wings, not the purple parts, but the black in them though. You see the black hair, and you see eyebrows. You see green eyes, and you see lips moving, but you don't see the skin. You just see like lips and eyes.
Like
blinking.
early day
Talking to
Assassin's
you.
Creed Unity, where it's like they
Yeah,
you see
yeah.
the teeth and eyes.
It's all you see is that the teeth and eyes and the hair, and like kind of like draped over, and her talking, and your orc is just going, "What? Purple queen? You're not purple. You're see-through," like stuff like that. She's like, "No, I'm purple. That is why." Never mind. Oh, you orcs are weird. You're a different orc than the other orcs I've dealt with. Some have pig heads, some are gray, others are green, but they're different kinds of green. You're a goddamn mushroom. It is weird. It's scary mushroom. Like, scarier than a mimic mushroom, which those are pretty fucking scary. But she looks at you and goes, "Would you join us to take out this queen and aid us in a war that only a few can help?" As you sit there and think, the portal opens up behind. You see Mayhem and Luna walk out, and they look back at Crom and Edward Knight and nod their head, and they go, "Preparations are getting ready." As Luna goes, "Yeah, so we have to play the good guy, bad guy once this happens." She looks down, going, "Someone has to act like the good guy in the resistance at first, and then be the bad. I'm just going to act like a hidden murderer." Mayhem goes, "I'm already a monster for these towns. Why not be more?" What does Grismont say? Or are you just going to tell her the fuck?
No, I'd say, okay, I'll join you. I need some a good crumpet. I'm always up for a good scrap.
As Mayhem smiles, going, "Good, this will be fun." Luna grabs Mayhem, pulls him back through her portal, and they disappear through. The shadowy portal opens up behind. You see Chrome disappear. Edward Knight, do you take a different way out, or is there anything you want to say?
He's back
before you
into the
end it?
shadows. I think he went to the bathroom.
Oh yeah, everything shut down, restarted. Unexpected error, that's what it was. All right, just pop over my system. So
That was weird. My computer just shut off randomly.
Yeah, that's-
just randomly shut off.
that's
No
what mine
warning,
did.
no nothing. It just made a beeping noise and shut off.
Is the battery
Mine did
charged?
it.
Yeah, keep it on battery at all time.
Same. It's something else. It's I think it's internet attack, you could say. So, Edward Knight, what is the last thing you say as everybody else left the room? It's just you and Grisma.
Edward just went back into the shadows.
All right, he just disappeared back in the shadows. Now, Grisma, you're sitting there. What did you say?
He fights back into the shadows very dramatically.
Yep, fades back in the shadows. Doesn't even say anything to you at the very end, just looking at you, and disappears. So, after that, you just head off and rest. Everybody takes a long rest, heals up. You can add that special item in the inventory later for you. For Grismont, just a magical belt. You can add a belt and just type it in as whatever it is, and I'll explain it to you later.
Yeah, we'll talk about it when we see each other.
Yep. So, on that note, everybody rests, takes a long rest. Next week, it'll be a surprise on what we do for Rolling to Die. Remember, this was episode 118. Next week will be 119, and I can't wait to see the rest of you for next week. Just remember, we do every week, every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Rolling to Die. Anybody want to do anything to say before we end this tonight?
Tune in on Wednesday, 9 p.m. sharp Eastern Standard Time for the Chaotic Mind podcast. Be there or be square.
TJ Thunderbase, anything for you? Any promotions or anything? No. Okay. All right. So, at that note, remember, we're done with your bullshit. It's a crazy clown world out there, and to you well. Good night. And remember, this is Rolling to Die.
Like, share, and just subscribe.
Right? Hit it, DJ.
全世の全てあれんという詩が公式すると死の中に浮かんでいる人類は偉大なはずだけどもうっている彼女もガンダムなのかなガンダムロック茎のベルを鳴らしてください飛行機に乗る観客は腕時計をした方がいいですよ港を愛する小色のガンダムに動機ガンダムこの船は決して弁解できないログイン全員が再始動について考えているこれは決して続くつもりではなかった過去から学べると思うかもしれませんがそれでここでクラクションが鳴りますデッキが開きましたチェックリストを見ると心が開かれた気分になる少し感動していないように見えるなら私単にじめて続きが嫌いなだけですこの船は決して弁解できないログイン全員が再始動について考えているこれは決して続くつもりではなかった過去から学べると思うかもしれませんがそれを言った父がトラスのクーポンを握ってしたところです巨大マグネトロンに費やした今私は未来を私たちに引き寄せることができます私はあなたを私の仲間だと考えていますガンダムこの船は決して分解できないログイン全員が再始動について考えているこれは決して続くつもりではなかった過去から学べると思うかもしれませんがそれとその3でこの船は決して弁解できないログイン全員が再始動について考えているこれは決して続くつもりではなかった過去から学べると思うかもしれませんがその3人
You guys got the hint, didn't you? Next week, it's a Gundam! Fireball! It's green!